What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and for today's weekend news video, sorry guys, I got mucus got caught in my throat and it won't come up or go down. Anyway, finally, now it finally goes down, finally. Took a while. Anyway, for today's weekend news video, I'm going to be talking about a brand new archetype that apparently is part of the Vices Starfrost series. It is known as Manadome. Now, I'm going to be honest, I really don't know what this archetype is based off of, but I'm assuming it's probably based off of the Fate series, just because of the fact that excuse me. Just because of the fact that the main monster card, which I will talk about here in a second, looks like it kind of looks like Excalibur a little bit from the Fate series, and the synchro monster is kind of looks like Berserker a little bit from. That's also from the Fate series, so I feel like it could be could be based off of the Fate series. Then again, I could be wrong, so I'm not so sure. But I do want your guys' thoughts on this. I do want your guys' thoughts on this archetype because I'm assuming this is supposed to either counteract or go with the Tearlament archetype, because with the Ishizu tier deck still busting, still kicking ass for some reason. Who knows? Maybe this deck might be useful against it. Who knows? But there's a note here that reads, this theme seems to be named after Vamana, which stands for dwarf, the fifth avatar of Vishnu the Preserver, a god of the Hindu pantheon, and possibly Dome, or Dumb, I believe is how it's supposed to be. How it's supposed to be said. But honestly, I'm excited for the new cards. Can't wait to talk about them. I believe there's only 9 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there are only 9 cards in here. So if I have some extra time left, I'm gonna talk about something else as well, and that is the fact that we have more reprints in the Rarity collection set. So there are quite a few reprints, so I will be talking about them, about those reprints in this video. So I don't know how big of a set I don't really know how big of a set the Rarity collection set will be, especially in the OCG, but I'm assuming it'll probably be pretty big. Because usually, from what I've seen in various videos, in various openings from because from what I've seen in various opening videos. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Anyway, from what I've seen in various like pack openings, from a lot of Yu-Gi tubers, especially from guys like Cyber because I know Cyber loves opening anything that's Yu-Gi-Oh related. Literally anything that's Yu-Gi-Oh related, he will open it up on his channel. Which, by the way, big shout out to Cyber If you guys have not checked him out, I recommend you guys check him out. He's arguably one of the best Yu-Gi tubers I've seen in quite some time. His pack openings, his, you know, just him in general as a person is incredible. He's an awesome dude, an awesome Yu-Gi tuber. So if you guys have not checked him out, I recommend you guys check him out. But yeah, from what I've seen in his pack opening videos, especially with these different Rarity collection openings, usually these sets are about a little over 200 cards, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe that's how it's supposed to be. But hopefully you guys are ready for this video. If you guys are, and you guys want to see more weekend news videos in the future, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. Again, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell, because as I have said in previous videos, if I can get them out, if we reach 200 subscribers, because we are legitly close to 200 subs. We're like, what, 59, 58 subs away from 200. So if we do reach 200, I will open this up in its entirety on the channel. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. However, if we hit a massive, if we actually hit 1,000 subscribers or more, which I don't think it won't happen anytime soon, but if we do, guess what, guys? I will open up my first edition Toon Chaos box. You guys are wondering where I got this from. I actually got this from my partners at Collector Store, so make sure you guys check them out. Link will be in the description below. Again, if you guys want to see this open, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and get this channel to 1,000 subs, because once we reach 1,000, I will open this up in its entirety. And it's just to show you guys. Yeah, first edition. I actually bought this on the week of its release, and apparently now all the cards that are in the set are like above are supposedly above $5. Supposedly. I'm excited. I'm excited, guys. So guys, again, 200 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers. I'm not really sure what I'll do if we reach like 300. I haven't thought about it yet, but definitely Toon Chaos 1,000 subscribers. Just because of the fact that Toon Chaos is a very hard set to find nowadays, especially with the fact that everybody kept buying cases and cases and cases and cases and cases and cases of those sets, and they would sell off all the super rares and keep all the ultras and collector rares for themselves. So maybe that box might have a collector rare. So if you guys want to see that box get open, guys, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any future content that comes your way. And guys, let's get straight into it with today's video. Kicking things off, we have Manadome Ryum Heart. I believe it's how it's pronounced. I probably butchered it, so I do apologize. And I'm actually and this is off of YG Organization. Big shout outs to them. This is basically how I talk to you guys about all the new cards. For those who are new to my channel and do not know, I do use YG Organization to reveal all of the new cards that come out for pretty much every set that comes out. Structure deck reveals and whatnot. That's basically how I talk about the new cards, is through YG Organization. So big shout outs to them. So Manadome Ryum Heart, I believe how it's pronounced, is a 4-star light warrior with 1500 attack, 2100 defense, and both defense effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads: if this card is in the hand during the main phase as a quick effect, you can target one Manadome monster or a monster with 1500 attack, 2100 defense you control, destroy that monster, and if you do, special summon this card. Second effect reads: if this card is normal special summon, you can add a Manadome card from your deck to your hand, except this card. So if I remember correctly, I believe the Ishizu tier deck has cards with those attack and defense stats. Here we are, Ishizu tier. Let's take a look. Okay, so the only monster that has those attack stats is Tearlament's Reinhardt. That's it. No other monster in the Tearlament archetype has that. That's so stupid. That's pretty stupid though. But I gotta admit, but I have to admit, this is basically a combo. A sort of like a, I guess you could say this is more of a combo extender. I guess you could say, because with this, it's basically Stratos. That's all it is. It's a Cyber Dragon Stratos rolled into one card. And as I've talked about, and as I've said before in previous videos, if you ever see a monster card that has a Cyber Dragon or a Stratos effect, you know damn well the card is going to be nuts. This card is basically no different, because with this again the effect reads that if this card is in the hand, you can target a monster. Target a Manadome monster or a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense you control, destroy it, and special summon this card. So Reinhardt is basically the combo starter. Ryum Heart is the combo extender, and it can help search out pretty much any Manadome card you may have at your disposal, which could literally be anything. This will give you access to extend into your fusion plays. So if you do mix this archetype with the Tearlament archetype, it'll help you go into your Katalos and then evolve into your Rukalos, and then of course and then eventually into your Kaleidoheart if you need to. So that's actually not too bad, actually, I have to admit. Next up we have, let's see, was that the first? Yeah. So next up we have Manadome Hearless, I believe is how it's pronounced, which is a 2-star Earth Fairy tuner with 0 attack and 200 defense, and I believe all of these. I believe both of these. Yeah. Okay. So first up, Manadome Hearless and Manadome Meek. both have the same first effect, which reads, you can only special summon this card by the procedure of its first effect once per turn, which reads, excuse me. Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm still sick. It's not COVID, just mucus. And yeah, if you guys don't remember, I mentioned that, I mentioned, what was like on Monday or something like that, that I had COVID, and, now I don't. I tested, what, Friday, and yeah, I no longer have COVID, which is kind of crazy. So I gotta call my doctor and see if I can get the excuse me, the new COVID booster. I know I shouldn't have said that here on YouTube, excuse me, because of the whole algorithm, but I needed to let you guys know, and let you guys know that I am okay. Anyway, where was I? Oh, right. The first effect. So as I mentioned before, both Manadome, Hearless, and Meek have the same first effect, which reads: if you control a Vice of Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense, you can special summon this card from your hand. Now, I believe both of these have their own different effect. Yeah, so they both have their own different effect. Let's see here. Hearless second effect reads if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Manadome Hearless from your deck, and also during the battle phase of this turn, of the turn this effect is activated, synchro monsters you control gain 500 attack. That's actually pretty good. So it's possible we could see Stardust Dragon come back into the format because of just because of the fact that it can easily be turned from 2500 attack to a 3k beater, which is absolutely nuts. We can also see a bunch of other old school cards as well, and because that Manadome Hearless is an Earth Tuner, Goyo Guardian could also potentially come back into the format as well, because Goyo Guardian is a fucking snatch steal. It's a battle. It's basically snatch steal during the battle phase, which is pretty nuts. So that's actually pretty cool. I have to admit. Now Manadome Meek which is a 2-star Water Fairy tuner with 0 attack and 1800 defense. Has the second effect, which reads: if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Manadome Meek from your deck. Then you can increase the level of the monster special summoned by this effect by 2. So basically, this card plus Manadome Reinhardt equals a level 8. But there's also But if you have another level 2, but if you have a level 2 non-tuner, you basically get to go into a level 10 synchro. But you would think that with this next one, but it's not, because I believe it's Manadome Meek, which would end up becoming level 4. Manadome Hearless, that's 6. Manadome Reinhardt, that's 4. That equals 10. What is that synchro monster that I mentioned? It is known as Manadome Primeheart, which is a 10-star light fairy synchro with 3000 attack and defense, which requires one or more tuners plus a light monster. And it has 3 separate effects. The first effect reads: this card can attack a number of times each battle phase equal to the number of tuners used as material. So essentially, it's a Cyber Twin Dragon, where where because that you're gonna probably end up using 2 tuners to summon this card, it basically acts as a Cyber Twin Dragon where you can deal potentially up to 6k damage. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. Although to be fair, there are several cards in the format that can basically just stop the battle phase right in its tracks. And Fiendish Chain is one of them. Macrocosmos is another potential one because of the fact that Macrocosmos is now up at 3 with the emergency ban list that we got last month, right after YCS Pasadena. Yeah, you guys are wondering, what? What do you mean? You guys are probably wondering, wait, what do you mean? So, to really quickly summarize what happened, YCS Pasadena gave us a very interesting format where where the Ishizu tier deck basically dominated the meta. It was literally the final 4, all 4 decks Ishizu tier. And once Konami found out how powerful the deck was, they decided to host an emergency ban list. For some odd reason, there were rumors spreading all throughout social media that supposedly there was going to be a ban list. Literally, I think what, 2 maybe 3 weeks after YCS Pasadena, and there was supposed to be the cleanup crew, kind of like what it was with the January 2020 ban list. If you guys have not checked out that video, I recommend you guys check that one out, because that was cleanup. My God, the fucking mucus, man, I swear. Anyway, the emergency ban list that we had consisted of Curious the Lightsworn Dominion being banned, as well as finally Mystic Mind finally getting hit after all this time. What, 19, 20? After 3 years, almost 4 years, Mystic Mind got banned finally. The cards that got eliminated to 1 were Herald of Orange Light, which really did nothing because, well, Diviner the Herald is still out, so yeah, and that was it. Diviner the Herald got limited to 1. Lurilisk Recital Starling got semi-limited to 2. Excuse me. Tellarknight Ptolemaeus, Dimensional Fissure, Fire Formation Tenki, Macrocosmos, and Metaverse all got taken off the list and now is at 3. That was the emergency ban list that we got. So it's very possible. So it's very possible that Macrocosmos could potentially ruin this deck. Plain and simple. And especially with that first effect of Prime Heart, it could really do a lot of damage to it. Let's see here. The second effect reads this card synchro summon using a Manadome tuner or tuners as material cannot be targeted by your opponent's effects. That's pretty nuts. The third effect reads, if this face-up synchro summon card leaves the field due to your opponent, you can special summon 1 Vice Star Frost or a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense from your graveyard or from among your banished monsters. So it's basically it's basically Monster Reborn DDR rolled into one card. So it's that mixed in with a Cyber Twin Dragon plus a protection. Provide that you actually do use the Manadome tuners, which is pretty nuts. Not much else to say about that, and plus it's a 3K beat stick. Pretty sure you'll be doing a lot of damage as well. But next up, into the spells. So first up, we've got Manadome Imagining, in which the kanji reads Imagining Heart of the Fifth Destruction World. So yeah, so I believe I'm under the impression it's part of the Fate series, just because of the fact that Reinhardt he kind of looks like Excalibur. If you guys have not seen the Fate series, I recommend you guys check out the Fate series. It's pretty insane, pretty good though. Anyway, so Manadome Imagining is a normal spell that has two separate effects, which are once per turn, and the first effect reads reveal one Manadome monster or one Vice of Starfrost in your hand. Draw 2 cards, then return 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. So it's essentially it's kind of like a Graceful Charity, but a little bit different. So with Graceful Charity, you guys know it's draw 3, discard 2. With this one, to draw 2 and put 1 back into your deck, which is actually kind of cool, because it's a great way to take any bricks that you may have in your hand, put it back into your deck, and if you draw that brick again, it won't be as much of a brick as it was when you had it in your hand originally. So that's pretty good. Let's see here. The second effect reads, you can banish this card from your grave. Target one monster you control with 1500 attack and 2100 defense. That monster is treated as a tuner until the end of the turn. Woo! Well, that's quite interesting. That's actually kind of interesting, being able to... My god, guys, the fucking mucus! And the sad part is that my grandfather gave me Mucinex the other day. I didn't even touch them, and my family took them back. So that's the sad part. Very sad, but they needed it. I'm not gonna bitch and moan about it, but still, that's actually not too bad. Being able to use the second effect to use a card, especially Tyrellman's Reinhardt as a fucking tuner. Come on, 8-star monster, Draco Berserker the Tenny. You know, Sci-Fi Lord Omega, any 8-star synchro. What more could you want from a card like that, you know? What more could you want? Next up, we have Manadome Obscussion? Obscussion? I think? I believe that's how it's pronounced. I probably butchered it, but the kanji reads Exposing Heart of the Fifth Destruction World. Okay. Which is a normal spell, and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads reads, target a monster you control, destroy it, and add 1 Primal Planet Calarium from your deck to your hand. Or if you control it, or if you control a Primal Planet Calarium, you can add a Manadome spell or trap from your hand to your hand, except this card instead. Basically, it's their field spell. That's pretty cool. So it's basically terraforming, but with a much more, but with an added twist, I guess you could say. Excuse me. The second effect reads, you can banish this card from your grave, special summon 1 Vice of Starfrost, or a monster with 1500 attack, 2100 defense from your hand. So this basically gives you a Cyber Dragon. So this card, by banishing it, lets you Cyber Dragon, Vice of Starfrost, or any monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense to your from your hand to the board, which basically could be either Manadome Rhyamhar or Tirleman's Reinahar, which is actually kind of cool. So it's basically terraforming Cyber Dragon rolled into a single spell, which is pretty good. Next up, we got the field spell itself, Primal Planet Calarium, which I believe the kanji is pronounced 5th Destruction World Calarium. which is obviously the field spell, and it has 3 separate effects, and the third effect is a once per turn. The first effect reads, when this card resolves, you can add a Manadome monster or Rise of Starfrost from your deck to your hand. So it's basically Rhoda. The first effect is basically Rhoda on activation, and if and when it resolves. And usually when a card has a when effect, usually it's going to miss timing because with those types of effects, it gives your opponent access to instantly not only Ash Blossom the effect, but also combo off into whatever board they may have, and that will force you to find a way to out their board during that chain, or you scoop. That's one of the biggest problems with cards that have when effects, because again, they miss timing. So it's kind of fucking mucus, man. Get the fuck out. It's kind of a pendulum scale, I guess you could say. But still, having that Rhoda effect, pretty good. If it doesn't get negated. Let's see here. The second effect reads, light monsters you control gain 100 attack for each tuner you control and in your graveyard. Okay, so it's sort of like the second effect of Fire Formation Tenki, but instead of just gaining just a measly 100, it's 100 for each tuner that's on your board and in your graveyard. So I could definitely see potentially the Resonators. Certain tuners could definitely benefit from that effect. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. The third effect reads, if a face-up tuner or tuners you control is destroyed by battle or by a card effect, you can target one of those monsters and special summon it. Not bad. Not bad. So it's sort of like a Monster Reborn, but for tuners. So that's pretty nuts. So I have to admit, I think the only downside with this card is, I believe, the first effect. That's like the only downside, because of the fact that it has a when effect with that first effect. Excuse me. Again, timing will be missed, and you may not be able to trigger off the effect, because it can easily get negated and destroyed by a bunch of back row removal cards. So it's best to definitely have 3 copies of this card in the deck. And if you do open with 2 of them and 1 gets destroyed, if they don't have any outs for the second one, then that when effect will indeed resolve. So that's something you gotta be mindful of, guys. You gotta be mindful of that. But now into the traps. There's only 2 of them. The first one is Manadome Breakheart, which the kanji reads Pulverizing Heart of the 5th Destruction World, which is a normal trap, and both of its effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads: target a tuner or a synchro monster in your grave, special summon it. Then if you special summon a light monster with this effect, you can destroy a monster your board controls with equal or lower attack than that monster. Okay, so again, it's basically Monster Reborn for either a tuner or for a synchro. So that's actually pretty cool. So I believe this will give you access to summon back the Prime Heart to your board, which gives you access to destroy any monster that has at least 3,000 or less. So as long as that's the case, cards like Appaloosa, I think cards like Saryuja, any monster on board that has 3,000 or less is gonna go down into the grave. No pun intended, but it will get destroyed. So it's a nice board wipe, I have to admit. The second effect reads: if a Vice of Starfrost or a monster control 1,500 attack and 2,100 defense would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your grave instead. Okay, so this card is easily Dragon Lords. This is basically Return of the Dragon Lords, but for the Manadome, but for the Rise of Starfrost series, which that's pretty nuts. And like any spell or trap that has a Return of the Dragon Lords effect, you know it's gonna be game over instantly. And now for the last card of the new archetype, we've got Manadome Reframing, which in which the kanji reads Pure Heart of the 5th Destruction World, which is a counter trap, and both of its effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads: when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated while you control a synchro monster, negate the activation. Then if there's a Vice of Starfrost or a monster with 1,500 attack and 2,100 defense in your field or grave, you can destroy the negated card. Second effect reads: you can banish the card from your grave, target 3 Manadome monsters in your grave, return them to the deck. So this is basically Solemn Judgment, Pot of Avarice rolled into 1. Only downside is that you are not drawing. That's like the only downside. But honestly, having a Solemn Judgment effect, having a Solemn Judgment based card such as this card, not too shabby. All in all, this archetype, honestly is pretty. It's pretty neat. It's pretty unique. Not really sure how it'll change up the meta. I don't know what other archetype could benefit from this. Like maybe the the Ishizu tier deck could benefit from this, but who knows? But with that being said, do we have time? Yeah, we got a little bit of time left. Got about what, maybe a couple minutes left. All right, so I'm going to talk about the reprints that will be in the Rarity Collection 4 set, which I believe is called the Rarity Collection Quarter Century Edition. So the other reprints that will be in the set, we've got Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief, Dingirsu Orcus of the Evening Star, which Dingirsu is pretty decent. I know it's been played from time to time in certain decks, but still it's not too bad. Magnet Crusadia Avermax, which Avermax is actually pretty nuts, especially with the Numeron decks. This card is actually pretty good. Selene, Queen of the Master Magicians, Artemis, the Magistus Moon Maiden, Fossil Dig, Pre-Preparation of Rites, Magical Ice Fusion, Compulsory Evacuation of Ice, and there are others as well in another article from YG.org. Let's see, Lava Golem, Effect Veiler, Vision Hero Faris, Wing Dragon Raw Sphere Mode, Blackwing Simone the Poison Wind, Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon, Cyber Angel Benton, Master Hero Darklaw, and Predator Planet Dragus Tapelia, as well as the fact that there will be sleeves that will be released on the same day that this set will be released, which is February 18th. So I'm going to show you guys both sleeves. Actually, I have a way to do that. Let's do this. So these are what the sleeves will look like. So those are basically what the sleeves look like. Honestly, though, my honest opinion, I think the reprints, I think there could have been, I think the reprints are pretty neat. Not sure how, or actually, I'm not sure if the new cards that I had already talked about in the set, I'm not so sure when we're gonna get them, but I can guarantee you that those new cards, they could potentially change up the meta in the TCG. I don't think it'll change anything in the OCG, but definitely in the TCG, I can definitely see it. I can definitely see it happening. But that brings me to the question of the day, which is this. I got the perfect question of the day. Here is today's question of the day. What deck do you guys believe will take over the meta in 2023? That is not a Shizu tier. Let me know down in the comments below, and that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys want more weekend news videos in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.